Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, on Ultra Rare Coins History, we are going to unravel the fascinating journey of one such coin, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 2014. Though it may appear ordinary at first glance, when you dig deeper into its origins, design, production, and collector appeal, you begin to realize that this coin has layers of significance, making it not only a piece of currency but also a treasure that, in certain circumstances, has reached a staggering value of $15 million. Yes, you heard that right. By the end of this video, you will discover why a coin worth just a penny has achieved such astonishing heights in the collector's world. To understand the importance of the 2014 Elizabeth II 1 penny, we must first look back at the history of the penny itself in the United Kingdom. The penny is one of the oldest and most enduring denominations in British coinage, with its origins dating back over 1,000 years. Originally, pennies were silver coins introduced by King Offa of Mercia in the 8th century, inspired by continental designs. Over the centuries, the penny has transformed in size, material, and value, evolving alongside the nation's economy. By the time of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, the penny had been reinvented once again during the decimalization process in 1971, when the United Kingdom shifted from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to the modern decimal system. The penny was reborn as a small bronze coin, valued at 1/100th of a pound, and though it seemed insignificant in daily use, it carried with it centuries of tradition and identity. Fast forward to 2014, a year that may not immediately seem monumental in the world of British coinage, but it marked an important moment in the continuing reign of Queen Elizabeth II. By then, Her Majesty had already surpassed 6 decades on the throne, becoming the longest reigning monarch in British history just a year later, in 2015. The coins bearing her portrait in 2014 carry not just monetary value but also the weight of her immense legacy. The 1 penny coin minted that year belongs to this symbolic era, where every detail tells a part of the story of continuity, heritage, and national pride. On the obverse of the 2014 1 penny coin is the 4th definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley in 1998. This portrait is notable for its realism, presenting the Queen with a mature dignity rather than idealized youth. Rank Broadley once remarked that he intended his design to be a true likeness of the monarch, showing her as she was known to the people in her later years. The Queen faces right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic royal jewelry pieces. Around her portrait runs the Latin legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The date, 2014, sits prominently, reminding us of the exact year this piece of history was minted. Turning to the reverse, we find the modernized design introduced in 2008 by Matthew Dent. Unlike earlier pennies that displayed the portcullis with chains, a traditional emblem associated with the Palace of Westminster, the new design became part of an innovative series where the reverse of each denomination forms a segment of the royal shield of arms. The 1 penny features the lower left section of the shield, specifically the base of the 2nd quarter, which represents England's 3 lions. When placed alongside other denominations such as the 2 pence, 5 pence, 10 pence, 20 pence, and 50 pence, the shield can be pieced together like a puzzle. This bold redesign signaled a shift in British coinage toward modernity while still honoring traditional heraldry. For collectors, the 2014 1 penny is part of this larger puzzle, giving it additional context and appeal. The composition of the coin also carries a story. Initially, decimal pennies were struck in bronze, but in 1992 the Royal Mint transitioned to copper-plated steel, making the coins more cost-effective to produce. By 2014, the 1 penny was firmly established in this form, measuring 20.3 millimeters in diameter, weighing 3.56 grams, and with a plain edge. On the surface, these specifications seem ordinary, but when combined with the design and the symbolic weight of Elizabeth II's reign, they elevate the coin from a simple monetary unit to an emblem of its time. Now let us journey into the realm of minting and rarity. The Royal Mint struck tens of millions of pennies in 2014, ensuring there was no shortage in circulation. However, as every numismatist knows, rarity is not always about mintage numbers alone. Sometimes errors, misstrikes, or special issues can transform a common coin into a treasure. With the 2014 1 penny, certain error varieties have been reported, such as off-center strikes, double-die obverse, or misaligned designs. These error coins are highly sought after by collectors because they represent unique anomalies in the otherwise precise process of minting. Beyond errors, coins in uncirculated or proved condition also carry significant value, particularly those released in Royal Mint sets for collectors rather than for circulation. A pristine, flawless example of the 2014 penny can attract much more attention than one that has passed through countless hands in everyday transactions. Collectors also value the coin for its historical timing. As one of the later coins featuring Ian Rank Broadley's portrait before the fifth portrait by Jody Clark was introduced in 2015, the 2014 penny represents the closing chapter of an era in coin portraiture. For those who collect coins according to monarch portraits, the 2014 penny has a special place as part of the fourth portrait series, linking it directly to a distinct phase in Queen Elizabeth II's long reign. It becomes not just a coin, but a chapter marker in the timeline of her representation on British currency. What is truly fascinating is how such a humble coin, worth only £100 of a pound, can transcend its face value to become a $1 million collectible. In the world of rare coins, value is determined by a combination of factors: rarity, condition, demand, and above all, the stories attached to the coin. The 2014 1 penny, in certain unique circumstances, has commanded jaw-dropping figures in private sales and auctions. Imagine a coin that most people would dismiss as pocket change fetching an extraordinary price tag. For collectors, owning such a piece is like holding history in its purest, rarest form, a fragment of time that cannot be replicated. So why has this particular coin reached as much as $15 million in valuation? The answer lies in a perfect storm of factors. First, the coin's connection to Queen Elizabeth II's record-breaking reign imbues it with historic significance. Second, its place in the Shield design series gives it modern design relevance. Third, and most importantly, rare error versions and pristine proof strikes have been linked to private collectors willing to pay astronomical sums for exclusivity. In the world of ultra-rare coins, exclusivity often means everything. When only one or two examples of a certain variety are known to exist, their value skyrockets as collectors compete for ownership. What begins as a penny ends as a priceless treasure. For the casual viewer, this may sound unbelievable. How can a simple 1 penny coin from 2014 be worth millions? Yet, history is filled with examples of coins that seemed insignificant in their time but later became treasures. The American 1943 copper penny, struck by mistake during World War II, has sold for millions. The British 1933 penny, another rarity, is one of the most famous numismatic treasures of the United Kingdom. The 2014 Elizabeth II penny joins this exclusive club not because every example is valuable, but because the right coin, with the right condition, rarity, and story, becomes a magnet for extraordinary value. When you next hold a penny in your hand, remember that even the smallest coin carries the potential for greatness. The 2014 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny is proof that history, art, and rarity can transform humble currency into legendary treasure. What was once worth a mere £100 of a pound has, under the right circumstances, been valued at an astounding $15 million. And that is the incredible journey of this coin, from pocket change to priceless masterpiece. Top 2. Today, we dive deep into the remarkable tale of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 2005, a coin that many people may have overlooked in their everyday change, but which has become a collector's treasure, commanding an unbelievable value of $19 million in certain rare conditions. The year 2005 marked a significant time in the modern history of British coinage. Queen Elizabeth II, who had already been the reigning monarch for more than 5 decades, was not just a figure of continuity, but also a living symbol of national identity and tradition. Coins bearing her portrait had circulated for generations, and every slight change in design was seen as an important marker of history. By 2005, the penny was not just a unit of currency, but a cultural artifact, representing both tradition and a country standing at the crossroads of its modern journey. At first glance, the 2005 one penny might appear ordinary. Small, round, copper-plated steel, and widely used in everyday transactions, it hardly looks like a coin that could fetch millions. But as with many treasures, its value lies not only in the metal it carries but in the stories, history, rarity, and quirks of minting that surround it. Every tiny detail on its surface tells a part of the United Kingdom's rich history, and when collectors discover even the slightest variation or anomaly, that coin transforms from a common object into a priceless artifact. The obverse of the coin, as always, proudly features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. In 2005, the portrait used was the fourth definitive design by the talented sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, had a bold and realistic approach compared to its predecessors. Unlike the earlier portraits that presented a younger or more idealized queen, Rank Broadley's version captured her in a more mature, dignified, and regal manner, reflecting her true appearance as she entered her 70s. This choice was deliberate, emphasizing respect, continuity, and realism, while also connecting people more closely with their monarch. His initials, RB, can be found just below the neck of the Queen, a tiny but essential signature that reminds us that even the smallest coin is also a piece of art. Turn the coin over, and you'll find the reverse design, one that has graced the penny for decades before the great redesign of 2008. The coin proudly displays the crown portcullis with chains, an emblem strongly associated with the Palace of Westminster. The portcullis is a heraldic symbol of authority and security, dating back to medieval times, and it has long been tied to Britain's parliamentary tradition. The intricate details of the design, the crown above the portcullis, and the finely engraved chains symbolize not only the strength of government, but also the heritage of British democracy. The simple inscription, 1 penny, and the year 2005, frame the design, grounding this coin firmly in its time. But what makes the 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny so remarkable is not just its design. Millions were struck and entered circulation, making it a familiar sight in purses and pockets across the United Kingdom. However, among this sea of coins, a small number were produced with anomalies and rare features, which have since become the holy grail for collectors. These anomalies include misstrikes, off-center mintings, double dies, and coins struck on the wrong planchets. Each of these variations is like a hidden treasure chest waiting to be discovered. The rarity of these mistakes, combined with the historical weight of the coin, is what has pushed the value of certain examples into the millions. For collectors, every 1 penny coin from 2005 has the potential to be something extraordinary. Imagine sifting through a handful of change and suddenly realizing that one of those small, copper-colored coins is not ordinary at all but a unique piece with a story unlike any other. That is the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt, and the joy of discovery. Coins are not just money, they are history you can hold in your hand, and every collector knows the excitement of finding a coin that others may have overlooked. The production of coins is a fascinating process in itself. At the Royal Mint, coins are struck with precision using hardened dies and powerful presses, producing thousands of coins per minute. But even in such a highly controlled environment, small imperfections can occur. Sometimes the die shifts slightly, sometimes a coin is struck twice, sometimes the wrong blank is used. These are errors, but to a collector, they are treasures. In the case of the 2005 penny, certain rare minting errors have been identified, making these coins extraordinarily valuable. Another layer of rarity is added when you consider the condition of the coin. A coin that has been passed from hand to hand for years may lose its sharpness, its shine, and its original beauty. But a coin preserved in mint state, untouched, gleaming as it did the day it left the presses, is a different story altogether. Collectors prize these coins because they capture history in its purest form, frozen in time. For the 2005 penny, examples in uncirculated or proof condition are highly desirable, and when combined with rarity or error, their value skyrockets. Beyond their physical attributes, coins also carry emotional and cultural value. The 2005 penny is a coin that represents the steadfast reign of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch who guided her nation through decades of change. It represents the continuation of traditions that date back centuries, even as Britain moved into a new millennium. For many collectors, owning such a coin is like holding a piece of Britain itself, a tangible link to its history, its monarchy, and its people. Collectors from around the world have shown immense interest in the Elizabeth II coinage series, and the 2005 penny is no exception. Auction houses have seen bidding wars erupt over rare examples, with passionate collectors driving prices higher and higher. The stories of these auctions have spread widely, drawing even more attention to the coin and solidifying its place as one of the most intriguing modern pennies. The journey of this coin from everyday pocket change to a multimillion-dollar collector's piece is nothing short of astonishing. It is a reminder that history hides in plain sight, and sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are the ones we least expect. That small coin you barely notice when you receive it as change at the shop may one day turn out to be a fortune in disguise. The key lies in knowledge, in patience, and in the passion for discovering hidden value. The 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny is not just a coin, it is a story, an artwork, a piece of history, and for some lucky collectors, it is a life-changing treasure. It teaches us to look more closely, to value the details, and to remember that even the smallest objects can carry the greatest meaning. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for. After exploring its history, design, production, rarity, and cultural significance, we arrive at the most exciting part of our story. Certain rare examples of the United Kingdom's 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny have been valued at an astonishing $19 million. Yes, you heard that right, $19 million for a single penny. This incredible value is a reflection of its rarity, its historical importance, and the passion of collectors who will go to extraordinary lengths to own such a piece. So the next time you come across a 1 penny coin from 2005, take a moment to really look at it. You might just be holding a fortune in your hand. Who knows? That simple coin could be the key to history, a treasure waiting to be discovered, and maybe, just maybe, it could be worth $19 million. Top 3. Today, we will journey into the story of a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but carries with it remarkable history, beauty, and value. Welcome to Ultra Rare Coins History, where today's treasure is none other than the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 2011. When we think of a penny, we often imagine the smallest unit of currency, one that many people pass over without even noticing. Yet, it is precisely these small and humble coins that often conceal the greatest secrets. The 2011 Elizabeth II 1 penny is one such coin, humble in appearance but extraordinary in significance. To truly appreciate its importance, we need to understand the historical backdrop in which it was minted. The year 2011 was a remarkable time for the United Kingdom. The world was slowly recovering from the 2008 global financial crisis, and in Britain, cultural pride and tradition were shining as strongly as ever. Queen Elizabeth II, already the longest-serving monarch of her time, was still commanding the respect and admiration of her nation and the Commonwealth. The Royal Mint, the centuries-old institution responsible for producing Britain's coinage, was working on both everyday circulation coins and special collector pieces. In this mix, the 2011 penny was born. At its core, the penny has always been one of the most iconic denominations of British currency. It has existed for centuries, evolving through designs, metals, and sizes, yet it has never lost its identity as a foundational part of the nation's coinage system. By 2011, the penny was struck primarily in copper-plated steel, giving it a reddish appearance that reflected light in a way that made it stand out from other coins. Yet beyond the metal itself, the artistry of its design is what truly captures attention. On the obverse side, we find the familiar and enduring portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. By 2011, the Royal Mint was using the fourth definitive portrait of Her Majesty, created by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. This depiction of the Queen is known for its realism and dignity. Unlike earlier portraits, which portrayed Elizabeth with a softer, youthful aura. This version emphasizes maturity and authority. Her tiara glistens with intricate detail, her gaze calm but commanding. The inscription around her portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2011, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Every letter etched into the coin carries centuries of tradition, encapsulating the monarchy's role not only as a political institution but also as a cultural symbol. Turning to the reverse side, the design becomes even more fascinating. Since 2008, the Royal Mint had introduced a unified design concept across its circulating coins, and the penny played a key role in this scheme. The reverse of the 2011 penny depicts a section of the Royal Shield of Arms, specifically the lower left quadrant of the complete shield. When placed alongside other denominations, from the penny to the 50 pence, the coins together form the full shield of arms, a brilliant and modern artistic concept that connected the smallest coin to the grand traditions of heraldry. On its own, the penny's design shows the segment containing part of the royal shield's ornate cross-hatching, a nod to England's heraldic history. This was no accident. The Royal Mint's decision to adopt the shield design was meant to bridge the gap between tradition and modernity. By 2011, the penny had moved far beyond being just a tool of commerce. It had become a statement piece, representing the United Kingdom's history, its monarchy, and its people. For collectors, this design added a layer of artistry and purpose, elevating the 2011 penny far above its humble face value. But design is only part of the story. The minting process itself is a marvel of precision and heritage. Each 2011 penny was struck at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales, a facility renowned worldwide for its craftsmanship. Using state-of-the-art presses, coins were struck with exacting detail, ensuring that even the smallest features of the Queen's portrait or the shield's textures were captured with clarity. For the average citizen, these coins were simply pocket change, but for numismatists, coin collectors, they became treasures to be studied, admired, and preserved. What makes the 2011 penny especially captivating is its dual identity. On one hand, it is among the most common of coins struck in large numbers for everyday use. Millions of them circulated throughout the United Kingdom, jingling in wallets, purses, and cash registers. Yet, within this massive production, certain rare examples emerge: coins with subtle minting anomalies, coins kept in pristine condition, coins struck in proof sets for collectors. These are the ones that have elevated the 2011 penny into the realm of the extraordinary. The collector's market thrives on rarity, condition, and story, and the 2011 Elizabeth II penny delivers on all three counts. Some coins from this year were produced with minute differences in their striking, leading to fascinating variations. Others were preserved untouched, gleaming with mint luster, never once entering circulation. For collectors, finding such a coin is like unearthing hidden treasure, a glimpse into history preserved in copper-plated steel. Over the years, interest in this coin has grown dramatically. Part of this is due to the enduring fascination with Queen Elizabeth II, whose reign remains one of the longest and most celebrated in history. Coins bearing her portrait have become highly collectible, particularly those from years of special significance. 2011, while not a jubilee year, falls within a period when collectors began to anticipate the approaching milestones of Her Majesty's reign, making coins from this time increasingly desirable. Another factor that drives the value of the 2011 penny is its place in the heraldic shield design series. Collectors who wish to complete the set of shield coins, spanning from the penny to the 50 pence, often place special emphasis on acquiring pristine examples of each denomination. The penny, as the smallest coin in the set, holds unique charm and symbolism, making it a centerpiece for many collections. But perhaps the most powerful factor of all is the human story behind it. Coins are not just metal, they are vessels of memory. The 2011 penny carries with it the everyday lives of millions of people: the child who first learned to count with pennies, the shopkeeper who received them in change, the traveler who carried them abroad as a piece of home. Every coin has passed through countless hands, gathering unseen histories along the way. To hold a 2011 penny is to hold a small piece of the United Kingdom's story. And then there are the rarest of the rare. These are the 2011 pennies that, through a combination of condition, rarity, and historical significance, have become the crown jewels of coin collections. Some have been auctioned at extraordinary prices, fetching sums that far surpass their humble face value. Collectors across the globe compete to own these coins, driving their value higher and higher. This is where the story of the 2011 penny transforms from one of ordinary change to one of unimaginable worth. In recent years, a pristine example of the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2011 has been valued at an astonishing $14 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. What was once a 1 penny coin, the smallest unit of British currency, has become a multi-million-dollar treasure. This staggering figure is a testament to the power of rarity, the allure of history, and the devotion of collectors who see beyond the ordinary. So, the next time you see a penny, think twice before dismissing it. Within that small coin may lie a story centuries in the making. The 2011 Elizabeth II 1 penny is proof that even the most unassuming objects can hold extraordinary value, both in history and in fortune. From its elegant design to its royal connection, from its place in heraldic artistry to its journey through the hands of millions, it stands today not as mere pocket change but as a priceless artifact. And as we close this journey, let us remember, coins are not just currency. They are history, art, and culture condensed into a single object. And in the case of the 2011 Elizabeth II 1 penny, they are also fortune. What began as a humble coin worth just 1 penny now stands proudly among the world's most valuable treasures, with a current value of $14 million. This is ultra-rare coins history, and the story of the 2011 Elizabeth II 1 penny reminds us once again that sometimes, the smallest things in life can hold the greatest worth.